All right, let's look back at how the Indonesian rupiah performed today on the 19th of January as of 2:58 p.m. Western Indonesia time. The rupiah was down by 0.20%, trading at 14,364 per US dollars. Meanwhile, the Indonesian composite index closed lower by 0.33% today on Wednesday, as this marks the third consecutive day of losses for the IDX. So as we saw just now, the Indonesian composite index is on a losing streak so far this week. And to get a deeper look into the performance of the Indonesian stock market, we are now joined by market analyst Aline Wiratmaja. Hi, Aline.
Hi, Kanya.
Hi, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. So as I mentioned, the Indonesian composite index is on a 3-day losing streak so far this week. Can you walk us through the different shares and sectors that have not been performing well?
Yes, Kanya. Indonesian share closed Wednesday trading in the negative territory, down 0.33% to 6,591. So Indonesia Composite Index has been on a 3-day losing streak, as you mentioned, Kanya, and closed below its psychological level of 6,600. So 7 sectoral indexes were closed lower today, with IDX Basic Materials fell 0.94%, followed by IDX Industry that slipped 0.82%. IDX Finance also slapped 0.7% as big caps like Bank Mandiri BMRI lost 3.1% to 7,025. Bank Rakyat Indonesia BBRI also slipped 1.43% to 4,130. Bank Central Asia or BBCA was unchanged at 7,675. Bank Negara Indonesia BBNI bounced back from earlier correction to close the day higher, only a bit by 0.35%. Kanya.
Okay. So, but as we know, the government has already lifted the ban on coal exports. Also, coal prices have been surging. How has that affected coal and also energy shares in Indonesia?
So, Kanya, it's interesting if we pay attention that amid the correction in the Indonesia Composite Index, 4 sectoral indexes managed to close stronger. One of them is IDX Energy, booked the most gains, 1.39% today. As we can see, we have TBS Energy Utama or TOBA share, which soared 14.45% to 1,505. Harum Energy HRUM jumped 3.57% to 10,875. Indotama Raya Megang ITMG climbed 0.6% to 20,950. Adaro Energy ADR was up 0.45% to 2,230. So Kanya, surging coal shares was triggered by rising coal price. Coal price rose around 29% in a 4-day rally. After a small correction due to profit taking, Newcastle coal futures on the 18th of January stood at $220 per ton. Analysts, though, stated investors to pay attention to the increasing coal production from China, which may cause coal price correction in the near future, Kanya.
Okay. Aline, so talk to us about some external factors that could impact the Indonesian market and also the economy. Maybe talk to us about the conditions in the U.S. where Treasury yields have been surging. How is that going to impact, the Indonesian stock market and also the economy?
Yes, Kanya, of course. For Thursday trading, investors in Indonesia closely monitor U.S. Treasury yields, which has hit a 2-year high, 1.82%, and Indonesia's central bank interest rate decision tomorrow on Thursday. Majority of economists in a recent survey see Bank Indonesia will keep interest rates at its current level of 3.5%. They predict Bank Indonesia will raise the interest rate in June 2022, Kanya, so mid-year.
Okay. So, speaking of U.S. Treasury yields specifically, walk us through the conditions in the U.S. stock market, because as you mentioned, this has an impact on the Indonesian markets as well.
Okay, Kanya. So quick recap on Wall Street for Tuesday trading. Major averages fell sharply on Tuesday as government bond yields hit COVID era high of 1.87%. As I mentioned before, analysts expect yields to continue to rise into the Fed's meeting on the 25th and 26th of January, and then they will take their cue from the Fed's tone, and it could mean rough sledding for stocks, Kanya. Meanwhile, more big banks like Bank of America and Morgan Stanley are expected to report their earnings on Wednesday before the U.S. trading starts. So far, 33 S&P companies have reported their fourth quarter earnings. Nearly 70% of them posted net profit results that beat analyst expectations. We can see the U.S. futures right now are in a positive territory, even though it's not so convincing, Kanya.
Okay. So lastly, how are conditions in the U.S. affecting other markets in Asia?
Yes, Kanya. So Asia Pacific markets also fell on Wednesday as U.S. Treasury yields once again hit fresh two-year highs and a global technology stock sell-off. Unsettled investors worrying about the inflation and also bracing for tighter U.S. monetary policy. We can see Nikkei 225 fell 2.8% today, hitting a three-month low. Shanghai Composite lost 0.33%. Kospi slipped 0.77%. ASX 200 fell 1.03%. Only Hang Seng Index managed to erase earlier losses to close slightly higher, 0.06%. Very, very thin.
Very well.
Kanya, back to you.
Very well. Thank you for that. Aline Wiratmaja, market analyst. Thank you so much for joining us on this show.